Hello, beloved friends. I'm going to ask Raphael to come today because of the violence that has been shown in the world. And this loving, caring archangel is a healer, and we need healing right now. And so, whatever he who has to say about the matter, if anything at all, is up to him. And so, as you know, you've seen me do this before. I close my eyes. I call upon God to bring forth his beloved archangel to speak to all of you this day. And so give me a moment, please. We are Raphael. We come to each of you this day to say, be at peace, for peace only begins within your own heart. So many are crying out to us and to God for justice. But your idea of justice is not always God's idea. For many of you, justice means revenge, and God has no sense of revenge within this wondrous mind and beautiful heart that is God. We say to each of you, be at peace, for within your own heart you are a creator. Your world is created through your mind and your heart and your beliefs. When you believe there is no justice in the world, you become upset and angry, and your emotions can override your common sense. And thus we have within your world riots and destruction and people who are trying to obtain justice through force. This can never happen through force, but only through discourse, only through calm discussion, only through calm means of legislation in your government. And that means that you must pray for your government to remain strong in its wonderful democracy, to remain strong against those who would destroy it. And that means that you put your mind and heart and soul to work invisibly through meditation and through prayer. So we say to each of you, beloved souls, be at peace, for justice always is served, not in the way you may dictate it to be, but in the way that God's wonderful mercy shall be. When there is violence that takes a life, there is life beyond life. And your beloved souls who have left life because of violence have found peace, and a peace that surpasses understanding. For in this next world that you call heaven, there is no disharmony or discord or need for justice. Only in your world that has the polarities that pull and push you between positive and negative thoughts and ideas, that push you toward positive or negative actions. Every time you enter the negative polarity and create anger and frustration and verbal abuse, you have contributed to the energy of the negative polarity. And so, beloved souls, do not allow yourself to do that. Know that there is life beyond this world of yours that has this wonderful challenge of right and wrong, of good and evil, of up and down, of hot and cold, for it is a world of dualities. And so we say, be at peace. You are a soul that has created a sentient being, that has a spirit that is connected to God. And that spirit is always free, no matter what happens. Your spirit is free. Though injustice may be done to one beloved soul, justice is always being done without violence. For God sees to it that there is always balance. And that is what you are seeking, not justice, but balance. Balance between those evil acts, those acts that are not necessarily evil, but are an emotion that runs away, an emotion of anxiety and fear that needs may not be met, which causes anger. Anger is merely a fear that your need will not be met. And anger can create violence. We are not excusing actions. There is no excuse for violent action. But there is no condemnation either, for the emotion can take charge. And the heart and the soul have to just stand by and weep. For indeed, beloved souls, you are creators. You are here on planet Earth to create, and you are learning how to do that. We feel your pain, although we do not have the emotional barometer that you are privileged to experience. We can only observe. We are messengers from the mind of God. We are translators of the mind of God. All archangels, this is our position. Angels are among you, dear souls. You have not been abandoned. Angels are working among you, for indeed this is the time of times that has been predicted. Good is coming from all of this. Justice will be served without violence. Justice has always been God's wish, but it is not revenge. It is not an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. Indeed, no, it is not that. Instead, it is balance. Those who speak of karma can translate the word to mean balance, for there is no imbalance in God's world, and indeed in your own. When you find yourself angry and upset and wanting to do something, some action that could be violent, you have been pulled into your own negative polarity. And there are those who would desire you to do this, for they are so trapped in this negative world that all they know is violence and anger. There is no peace in hearts. And they will believe there will be no peace until they have what they believe is justice. But it is not justice, it is revenge. We say unto you, dear souls, God is God of mercy. And God has created you as a sentient being to have a soul that goes on after death of the physical body. The physical body is not forever, but the soul is. The spirit that resides within you is a fraction of God's spirit. And that spirit always seeks good, always seeks peace and harmony. But the emotions that are part of you as a sentient being can experience anger and the feeling that they are being hurt by someone else and that they need to defend themselves. And thus you have your gun laws. And thus you have your belief from so many that they are being threatened by their very lives, when 90% of the time this is not so. For many who live in a neighborhood where guns are second nature, yes, you can be sitting in your living room and a bullet can go through the window and pierce your brain and you will leave this planet. Yes, you are threatened. And we pause because the fear is so strong on your planet right now. The fear that your life can be extinguished in such a matter of minutes. If you chose to come to this world with a skin color that is not in flavor of the kind, we smile, but it is not something that is to smile about. We say to you, dear ones, your soul chose the skin color. Your soul chose to come in at a time when there was an imbalance of justice, as you would call it, because of skin color. Because those who believe in power as being the goal to reach, in power over others as being their goal to reach, will choose to come in with a race that is in favor at the time. Beloved souls, be at peace. Justice always is served. Balance will always be restored. And Mother Earth is crying out for balance. And her way of finding it can be through nature, through a pandemic that can decimate a population. It is not God's will that people should die because of a pandemic. It is not God's will that those who are in power would seek their own needs first. It is us, it's the archangels who come to you and say to you, it is not God's will for any harm to come to any soul on the planet. We are here to bring you truth and wisdom and enlightenment, to know that you are a soul. And when you open your mind and heart and your emotions to the soul that is the bigger part of you and listen to its guidance, you will find balance and truth, and you will find peace. But if you allow anger and your emotions to be your guide and to rule your actions, particularly if you delve into the negative polarity of emotions, then you will not find peace. You will only find discord and more unrest within your soul. And so we say, be at peace, beloved souls. Look within, find God within you that seeks only love and peace and harmony within you first, before it can be within your world. You are a co-creator with God. As you think, so shall it be. For you have the power to create using the divine energy. And as you think it is, it shall be in your life. Realize your power and use it for good. Do not demonstrate with weapons. Do not demonstrate with destruction. That is not God's will for justice or peace in your world. Go to the negotiating table. Go to your government to change laws. Demand by standing in front of your government buildings in a peaceful manner. Demand equality between the races and between men and women. Demand that laws be enacted to bring about that equality. Do not do it through destruction, for you are of the negative polarity, and you are creating more havoc and pain for those innocent people whose buildings are destroyed because of your anger and protest. You have created imbalance, dear souls. No longer allow this imbalance within your own mind and heart. Seek peace within yourself, and you will create peace within your world. And that in turn will create peace among others in your world. For you are the creator. What kind of world do you choose to experience? What kind of world do you want your children to experience? Focus on creating peace in your planet. Use your energy to create peace and to demand the destruction of your planet through greed and power seeking. We come in peace, beloved souls. We come to bring you the wisdom of an archangel, the wisdom of God. Peace can only begin within self. And so we say to you, no matter what injustices you see in the world, send forth love and peace energy. Send forth those wise leaders who can create a solution to the problem. But do not send forth the negative energy that will create more unrest and more need for justice for those store owners that have been looted. Do not they wish justice? We come in peace. We come because we see how many of you are in agony and fear that justice will never come to your world. Your soul chose the color of your skin. And the one who was sacrificed, that soul knew his life would be short, for he sacrificed his life to bring forth a quicker solution to the injustice of racism. Anything that judges another, anyone who judges another as evil, must see evil to understand what it is. Do not judge. Do not judge anyone, and therefore you shall not be judged. Seek only peace within your own heart and in your own home. And even the evil as you see, the pandemic, shall not touch you, for you will do all that is necessary to protect your loved ones and yourself. You will wear a mask when you are out in public because this virus has not left your planet. It is still alive and very well. And those who think they are immune are subject to be victims of this coronavirus. And so we caution you, do not believe that it is gone. Do not believe that you can have any kind of remedy to this virus within a short period of time, for it does not work that way. Trust the leaders that are saying to be cautious. Trust your scientists. And trust the goodness in your heart to know the difference between what is good and what is not. Listen to your souls. Do not shut yourself off from your soul. Listen to your spirit. And so, we bring you blessings in this day. And we say to you Be at peace within your own heart, for peace begins within you. And when you bring forth your peace and your love to all those you meet this day, then you shall bring peace to your world, and therefore to the entire planet. Peace begins within, and you, beloved soul, are made of God, and God is pure peace, pure love. And therefore, hold love to all peace, people on your planet, and to the animals. Respect life in all forms. Taking life, even from an animal, is not a sport. All life is precious to God, and only God can choose the time of its going. You do not have the right to do that. We may seem to be judging, but we are bringing to you the laws of the universe. And we say to you, peace within will create peace without. And so begin with self this day and decide that you will be on the side of peace and not violence. Decide that you will condone peaceful negotiations, that you will not condone violence. Decide, and you shall be at peace. And so, beloved souls, we say to each of you, go in peace and be a beacon of light to your world by showing all of them, all of the people you meet, that you desire peace, and you will bring forth peace first within yourself and then to others. You will not preach, you will not dictate, you will show by example. You will show by example. Beloved souls, know that you are here to be a beacon of light, to bring that peace to your world. You were created by God to do this, or you would not be watching this video. Many are called, but few are chosen to be the peacemakers. Many believe they are being peacemakers through their violence, but they are not. They are perpetuating the violence. Ah, beloved ones, let go of your belief that you are helpless and begin meditating on a peaceful world. See it in your mind and in your heart, and you will create the energy that will evoke those who choose violence to think again. Hold peace in your heart. Do not preach it. Act peacefully. And with that, we will give you back to Ray. I am back. I still feel Raphael's presence. And Raphael is beside you as well, friends. All of the archangels are at your disposal. Truly, I am told you must ask for their help, for they cannot interfere in your life. That is your privilege to choose. You can choose the negative polarity, and God will not judge. It's amazing. When you leave this planet, as that young man did so violently, you will go through the vortex of ascension, as Cash Peters talked about in his latest video. He didn't have a name for it that Raphael gives. He talked about this beautiful blanket that sort of pulls you through and into the light. Raphael calls it the vortex of ascension. All of us, when we pass from this world, will experience that. Many have talked about the tunnel that leads to the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what Cash Peters saw. in his own way of describing a comfortable passing. This world is only the blink of an eye. This world is only temporary. All of us must leave one way or another. And the beloved soul that left in a violent way is now at peace, for he has gone through the vortex of ascension, and he has been greeted by friends and light beings on the other side. Do not grieve for him, for he came for a purpose, and he served it well. No matter what went before or goes after, keep that in mind. You are divine beings of light. And when you have finished your story on planet Earth, when your soul has told this story, you will make the transition through the vortex of ascension. And you will be able to look back on your life, and you will see the good that you created, and you will see anything that created disharmony. For that is the only judgment, and you are the judge. God is not. You will look at what happened and you will say, I wished I'd done that differently. Or you will say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how what I had done radiated out to so many people. Hopefully, this is what you will see at the end of your life. For everyone must pass through that vortex of ascension. Everyone comes and goes from this planet. Souls are expanding and growing. And those souls that choose to study the negative polarity of this planet, they are gaining knowledge and wisdom through a tougher way than if they choose the positive polarity. And so we all breathe deeply and we choose peace within ourselves and peace toward one another. We choose not to judge our fellow human beings, for we know they are also on a journey. And so, dear friends, let this video bring you peace within your heart. Let go of your anger and frustration at seeming injustice, and instead circle this planet with angels, and the peace shall be within you. And so until next time, we ask you to please subscribe to our channel, to let us know that you are watching, for we indeed like feedback. We say we because we are so one with Raphael that we think of ourselves as we. And so Betty Ray would really like some feedback. So let us know that you enjoy this channel and tell others about it. And so we leave you today.